So apparently this is an old story from last year, but for some reason it's just started popping up in my social media feeds. And I couldn't help but notice this picture that they used as the picture to go with the article. And it just makes me cringe. Okay? So not to lay blame, this stuff happens all the time and people just don't know, they don't recognize the signs. But allowing your child to interact with dogs this way is dangerous. It doesn't matter if it's a puppy. It doesn't matter if it's your senior dog that's now 12 and grew up with the kid, and the kid, they have a great relationship otherwise. But if you look at this picture, I can point out a couple body language signals. First of all, that dog's ears are completely back, which is an indicator of stress. You can see whale eye. And when we say whale eye, it means the whites of his eye, because he's stressed and he's trying to avoid looking at the kid. So he's actually looking away from the kid with his eyes because he feels awkward and it's uncomfortable. And of course the kid's got him and is right in his face. So this dog pretty much has no escape. You can also see the way he's shifting his weight back, that he's trying to get back as far as he can without actually getting up and moving because the kid's touching him. So these signals, the tight mouth, all of that screams that this puppy was very uncomfortable. And these kinds of interactions over time, when those subtle signals are not recognized, and the kid, of course, a kid's not going to recognize them, they don't know. But if the adults aren't there supervising and saying, hey, honey, make sure Fido can escape, right? Or managing that interaction. Hey, give Fido a break. You see his ears back. He needs a break. Getting in there and explaining to your kids, don't get in dogs' faces. That's why so many dog bites to kids are on the face, because the poor kid just wants to smooch the dog. But dogs don't really like that. And especially if you have an older dog that's in pain, even if they've tolerated it in the past, one day they just might not. And it's just a matter of managing things a little better and a little more carefully. So I did a little Google search just to pull up a few more images so that you guys can really see what I'm talking about in terms of the body language to look for, in order to know that the interaction is no longer consensual as far as the dog's concerned. So this one's really bad. This little girl is sitting on the dog, which should never be okay. And you can see that the dog has the whale eyes, so you can see the whites of her eyes. The ears are pinned back, the mouth is very tight, she's avoiding looking directly at the kid, and even has her paw lifted, which is like another anticipatory, like nervous type of body language signal. So again, this interaction should never be allowed to happen, and it should have been interrupted way before it even got to the point that the girl is on the dog's back. But here we are. This could so easily turn into a bite. And I know a lot of times you think, well, can't the dog just leave? Sometimes. But what would happen if this dog did suddenly run? That little girl's still gonna fall, right? So either way, it's not a good situation. And most dogs, when they feel pinned or restrained, they're not gonna immediately flee. They just feel like they're trapped. Here's yet another one. We've got the ears pinned back, the whites of the eyes, the very tight mouth, not looking at the kid. And you can even see kind of the dip in this poor dog's back, because it's clearly not meant to be supporting the weight of a toddler. So once again, this is an accident waiting to happen. And then this one, I pulled this up because it's the same breed of dog as the one in the story. It's a Mastiff of sorts, Bull Mastiff. And here you can see the very similar body language. So if you think back to the image I showed you at the beginning and this, what do you see in common, right? We see the whale eye, we see those pinned eyes, that furrowed brow with the concerned look on his face like he's worried, and that tight mouth. And this one's just a kid reaching. So in theory, this kid isn't even pinning this dog, but if this was your dog and somebody was walking their child and this close to you and your dog was given these signals, I would get my dog the heck out of there, because they need to feel safe. And if you see that they are that uncomfortable, the last thing you want to do is let that parent walk their child up to your dog. I can tell you, once you learn to see these signals, you'll never unsee them. And you're going to start seeing them in all of your social media feeds when your friends and family post pictures of their kids interacting with dogs. And unfortunately, you don't want to just come at people, because nobody really wants unsolicited advice. But some of the things that I like to share in those situations, maybe either through a private message, or maybe I'll just make a post on my page in hopes that they see it, are some excellent resources like this website. So the Family Dog. There's tons of free resources. There's actually some really fun kid videos that are like geared towards kids about how to interact with dogs. So that's a really great resource if you have younger kids. As you can see the statistic here, 77% of dog bites are from a family or known dog. The next website I would recommend is Family Paws. You can see that here. They also have free resources on their website. Just go to the resources section, and these are great avenues of getting information out to people you know with kids, or for yourself. You know, there's always more to learn, right? We do the best we can with the information we have. This is not a judgment. It just means now, if you're more aware about your dog's body language, you can prevent some of these problems. And the more you know, the safer everybody is and the happier and more stress-free. So take a look at these resources and let me know what you think.